How important is your carb intake for building muscle? Say 1 through 10, and why? What do you think, Joe?
Um, it's a good question. I'm probably gonna go 9. I think, well, and you introduced like carb cycling to me, like for the first time ever. How you can structure your carbs to benefit your workout and to refill glycogen storages after, and also like staying insulin sensitive in the meals surrounding your pre and post. I think everyone has some type of like, not everyone actually, there's people that are a common issue that I see with people that is they're just not insulin sensitive. And so I think that's going to make like training not difficult, but I don't know, like if like your body's just not going to utilize carbs to the ability that it could if you weren't insulin sensitive to be able to use them in a workout and structure them for energy and muscle building and
I think it could be useful to kind of like break this down into its like smallest parts and say like, well, okay, the goal, the way this question is framed is like, how important are carbs specifically for building muscle? Okay. So first, we should maybe ask the question, are carbs absolutely required to build muscle? And the answer to that is no. You do not need to eat carbohydrates to build muscle. What is necessary to build muscle? A calorie surplus and adequate protein. Those two things. That's it. Okay. So those are the conditions that and training and a stimulus, right, for growth. Now, is that the most efficient means? If you were to say, I'm going to eat just protein, no carbs, zero carbs, just protein, vegetables, and fats, right? So we can say like a ketogenic diet, a bodybuilder style keto or something like that. Is that going to be the most effective route? You can build muscle doing that, but is that optimal? Fuck no. And that's really what we're talking about here. Okay. So, what you miss out on by not having carbohydrates is like, okay, well, what purpose do carbs actually serve then? If they're not required to build muscle, then how do they help us build muscle, right? So, one of the things that carbohydrates do is that they fill up glycogen in your muscle, right? And that is a primary fuel source for training. So if you don't have adequate glycogen stores, so basically the best athletes in the world, they're all carbivores, period. The best athletes in the world are going to have high carb intakes because that fuels training performance much more than a fat intake. Okay. And maybe there are some sort of endurance athletes that don't fit that mold, but largely even endurance athletes are going to be carb driven. They're going to be carb burning machines, right? So, and then it from that you could say, okay, carbs drive training performance. So if I have better training performance, I have better stimulus, and if I have better stimulus in the presence of a caloric surplus and protein, now it's a 1 + 1 = 3 scenario, right? So now we're getting more optimal.